Testing 1, 2. Okay. Alright. I got it. Top from the top. 1, 2, 3. And welcome to Chilling3000 Hands episode 113 here tonight. Hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time here right now. And today we have a great show for you because we have two interviews here planned for you. Starting with John Matthews, a Wiffle player, and also Wize El Jefe, who hosts this not only mentality, but uh, speaking of on my mind podcast. Welcome, Dominic, here to the live chat, and everybody else who's tuning in to this program. So, with this new format, of course, there's more than one interview, but I'm also starting with this episode going to be talking about three topics that interest me before we play the interview. So, the first topic I want to talk about here tonight is about Aaron Rodgers, who is a Packers legend who this past offseason with the NFL had a big contract with the New York Jets, who are supposed to be Super Bowl um, competition team. And this past Monday night on Monday Night Football, he injured his uh, Achilles. And all I gotta say is this: New York Jets are familiar with this because they had this happen in their history before, and when that happened, they knew their team was cursed, and they haven't been to the playoffs in over 10 years, and which is crazy. But with the New York Jets, it was one of the most craziest tournaments I've ever seen in a football game. Aaron Rodgers was supposed to start, he did, but got injured 4 plays down. And then just right after that, he got injured, and Zach Wilson came into play and came and struggled a little bit here and there, but came through in the clutch. But honestly, it was a little bit clutch because Charles Allen was not himself that night. He wa had a great season this past season in the regular season, but then fell short of the ultimate goal of going deep into the playoffs, or maybe even the Super Bowl. With something that happened to the Bills that season with the Martin Lynn and everything else. It was not his night, and he didn't. The Bills lost on a walk-off punt for the Jets to win their first game of the season, which is you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Everybody thought that when Aaron Rodgers went down, the Jets were gonna lose because Aaron Rodgers, is the main reason why the Jets have been so much talked about since March, ladies and gentlemen. But with Aaron Rodgers going down right after that, everybody thought the Jets were gonna lose. But then in the tournament, the Bills were losing at the end of the game, came back, tied it up, and then lost in overtime. Now, what do I think about this situation? With Aaron Rodgers going down, he recently today on the Pat McAfee show, as I tried to get this quote here. I posted on the story. I'm working on the story here right now. As Kevin Garnett said, and I quote, anything is possible about his future. Since the injury, he spoke for the first time publicly today since entering via the Pat McAfee show on YouTube and ESPN. So, is Aaron Rodgers coming back for the season? No, I can tell you that right now because that is a very serious injury. Very serious because you know it takes forever to recover from that. So, I think he's not coming back. Everybody wanted to see his game versus Patrick Mahomes before him. And especially by then, I don't see him on the and any time in the season in general, I don't see him coming back because that's a very serious injury. So will he come back next season? That is also a maybe for me. Who knows? Maybe in the second half of next year he'll come back, or maybe even the start of the season with no training. So and also what about for the New York Jets? Because it was a 1 year down correctly. Oh, Grandma as well. Just saw it's coming home there, but then um uh what was I saying? You can correct me if I'm wrong. Aaron Rodgers signed a 1 year contract with the New York Jets and a trade from the Packers. So the question is, will he be with the Jets next year? Because anything can happen with injury. He was supposed to play 70% of his games this season in order for the Packers to get their um, first round pick draft. Like I said, Brandon and Dom, correct me if I'm wrong. So anything can happen. But all I'm going to say is to Aaron Rodgers, yes, I can celebrate all I want as a Patriots fan. But as a Patriots fan myself and a football fan, I hate seeing players get injured. I hate that in the past. With baseball, football, any sport, I hate that with a goddamn passion because I just wish everybody could stay competitive and healthy. I know Aaron Rodgers has done certain things in the past, especially folks thinking he's very greedy, but at the same time, especially on 9/11 too, I didn't want that to see anything worse like that happen. So, what's next for Aaron Rodgers? Only time will tell. And like what Aaron Rodgers said, anything is possible. Well, as quoting Garrett here on the Pat McAfee show, as he quoted, and anything is possible. Hey, who knows? It could, this story could change in an instant. Only time will tell. Next, my second topic is Red Sox firing GM Chaim Bloom. I think I get pretty deep this past month wasting. Oh, wow, for Mario Kart. Okay, pretty cool. Um, Red Sox fired recently yesterday Chaim Bloom, who is well known for not only uh, the man who traded Mookie Betts, but also that Standard Bogarts block uh, this past offseason. Also made other errors too, like not getting Howard Serper back, which was the main reason why the Red Sox, in my belief, went to the 2021 ALCS and almost got to the World Series for the second time in 3 years, 4 years. But that didn't happen. What do I think about? What do I think about this? 4 years. It sounds very. I mean, doing it here in September. People say they should have given him this off season, and if he did the everything back, fire him in early next year. I don't. I never really seen that happen before, so I can't picture that if that was the scenario here. And Chaim Bloom, from my view, he looked like a nice guy. I'll give him that. He was great great as a person, as for others. But him as a general manager did not work out quite too nice. And we're also, he was trying to be like the Tampa Bay Rays before he came to Boston. That's what he was trying to do. The only two contracts that were signed were Lucia and um, Trevor Story, who is now the shortstop. And I believe that is why they got to go as Center Bogarts to the Padres. He got overpaid. Um, so I wish him, I wish him nothing but the best of luck. Um, I mean, I didn't appreciate what he's done to this roster because they have so many expiring contracts after this season. Like I don't know if Kenny Jensen is going to come back. I don't know if Justin Turner's coming back. There's so many question marks about this roster for the future. I mean, I'll give a props for this for signing Garrett Whitlock for a extended contract. I'll give him that. But what else has he done? Yes, he brought Justin Turner, who I love him as a Dodger before he came on here, and I'm very happy he's on the Red Sox. At least for now, because with this roster, there's so many question marks with you know expiring contracts. What in the world is going to happen? So I wish I could say more on this, but the only thing is the Red Sox need to do a big change as for the next general manager, boy or girl, because the Marlins have a female for their general manager. So who the heck knows? But I just really hope as for Boston Red Sox, we need to get this roster back together because with so many expiring contracts, same with Chris Hill, who's one of my favorite pitchers of all time. I got the chance to meet him at the 2023 Winter Weekend earlier this year, and I was very happy I was able to do that because, like I said, he was one of my favorite pitchers of all time, and I actually got to say to him, thanks for 2018, because he's the reason why the Red Sox won the 2018 World Series. Not just because of the final out to Manny Machado. It's for like he did, being healthy that season. And pitched well for those great 2 years, 2017, 2018. But when he back next year, there's some rumors out there that Hank Bloom was going to trade him before the trade deadline. So it's like I believe all the mistakes he's done, Hank Bloom that is why the Red Sox signed him. But yes, I do agree with this. He was brought into a tough situation. Looking back, question marks before at the end of 2019. The pandemic hit. Crappy year 2020 for the Red Sox, but that is a forgettable season. 2021, he did great at the trade deadline and Kyle Slover. But after that, just went to the trash can. And I am not talking about the Astros. But then again, it was brought into that tough situation as well. The Red Sox ended up Alex Cora back in 2020 before he came back the following year because of the scandal that Cora was a part of. So who knows what's going to happen? Folks in live chat, feel free to let me know what you think of those two topics. And I guess let's have the next question about the Red Sox. I bring on my oh yes, the only other thing he did great as well, and Bloom, is extending Rafael Devers for the next 10 years. That was the only thing I have Bloom, same with Yoshida, has ever done great. Same with Trevor Story, that's a question mark because he's been injured and haven't healthy season. I've said about that out there before. Now, finally, I just want to say this on this matter. The Red Sox need to fix this roster. There's so many expiring contracts. They need to get new leaders. They need to fix up their coaches, especially their, whatever. I'm not talking about Alex Cora, but other coaches. They need to clean this up. and get back to winning. I want them to be like the Braves, the Dodgers, whatever what team. They need to get back into winning because I don't want myself for the next how many years to see the Red Sox not play postseason play. I don't want that. I want them to play good, clean baseball. Not sloppy baseball, clean baseball. Only time will tell on that. And as it go to final topic, stick around in this episode because after this, we'll get to the interviews. Starting with the one Wize El Jefe. Now, for the Nintendo Direct. This one didn't interest me. Nothing too special happened except there's Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door, um, Mario versus Donkey Kong. That that is something to look forward to for those who want to get a new game. Splatoon 3, Shadow Race versus Pilots. I'm not a Splatoon player. Some more RPG. I don't really follow RPG, but we'll see how it goes with that. Um, let's see here. Recollect soon another code. Oh, no, that. Princess Peach, Showtime. Okay, I'll give them this. Give me Princess Peach a game. That's very interesting there. Detective Pikachu returns. Different Pokemon fan at least, but no way Pokemon fan. We just mentioned to Extreme. Alright, that's going to be interesting. I can see that becoming popular. F-Zero 99. Okay. Super Mario Wonder. Okay. Mario Rare. Move it. And of course, the Mario Kart X Booster Course DLC. That's going to be awesome to see what other courses have in store. Including, oh, okay. Including Daisy Circuit for Mario Kart Wii. Alright. And the other stuff that don't really, that didn't really interest. I don't really watch Nintendo Direct, stuff anymore. I just look back and see the recaps and get my thoughts on it. Unless there's something very big happening, then I would watch. Alright, so without further ado, let's go to the first interview of the night. Hope you all tried that this episode will be happening. We'll be interviewing Wize El Jefe, who is the host of the second from the main podcast and also co-host of Mentality and also a regular um, guest on Nicole Johnston. And without further ado, let's play this bad boy. All right, everybody. I'm here with our interview here for tonight, and it's Wize El Jefe.
What's going on, David? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Nice to finally able to meet me here because I haven't had a chance to meet with you on Snowman Show before when I was there on Tuesdays in the summer, but glad we were able to do this here this way.
Oh no, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. Well, it's funny the interaction between me and you go. Actually, it's because you're a Red Sox fan.
Yep,
I'm a Yankees fan, so it's just funny the interaction between us. But no, I appreciate you having me on the show, man.
you're welcome. So yeah, we'd like to tell everybody on how you discovered Snowman or he discovered you, where, how, which way, and how I went.
Well, the way I connected with Snowman was through someone that we both had linked up with. He was what do you call it? He was just somebody who was trying to build his own network, and he was
Yeah.
getting podcasters together, and he linked me and Snowman up, and me and Brian originally were going to do a 15-minute interview, and it ended up going towards an hour, and
Okay.
then he came on my show. We recorded a episode for my podcast, and we just started building a relationship from there. And then when he went in for surgery to battle cancer, he asked
Oh
me to
yeah.
co-host with Cole Johnson, who's now my mentality partner.
Oh yeah.
And the rest is history, man. We just been grinding since. I've been a regular on the Snowman since April of last year, and it's been
Okay.
great, man. I've been blessed to meet amazing people, connect with a lot of different people from all over,
Oh yeah.
and it's actually helped me build what I'm trying to do, because it's being able to do a live show made me realize that I wanted to do my show live. So I go live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Okay.
and so that's what inspired me. Because before that, I was just strictly doing audio podcasting, and then I
Mm-hmm.
decided to do video. And then after spending time on Snowman in the morning, I was like, might as well do a live show. So
And when did you start doing that? Doing live
the
shows.
live shows or podcasting.
Live shows. We'll get to the podcast stuff after, but right
The
now.
live shows, I started doing live shows last year.
Okay.
Last summer, I started last summer, and it's been great, man. It's fun because you get to interact with your audience. So when
Yeah.
people have questions, or they want to put a comment up, and so depending on how the interview's going, if the guest sees a question that they like and they ask me to put it up, or if I see a question, I'll put it up. But it's great, man. I love the interaction with the people. That's what I love the most about it, is being able to make the audience a part of the show, being able to
You
have
were
them come
involvement.
and be a part of it. So I love that.
Human involvement. That's what the late Bob Barker used to talk about. Human
Huh?
involvement. The late Bob Barker used to say, human involvement, getting the audience involved with the program is always an important thing for a show.
It is. It is. It's very important to have your audience feel like they're being heard. It's
Yeah,
definitely important. And I'm like I said, I'm blessed to be able to have found something that I'm passionate about, that I love doing. Um, just creating
100%.
content, and just creating some great content. That's all.
100%. Um, so how did YouTube discover for you to make your own podcast after you discover YouTube?
Well, I had originally. Okay, so what happened was in 2020, I was furloughed from my job. I'm a table games dealer and supervisor at a casino,
Okay.
and so I was furloughed from my job. I had this podcasting equipment that I had purchased the year before, and I hadn't been using it. So the wife had a big honey to do list for me, and I wanted to find something else for me to do as well. And so I
Okay.
got into podcasting. I had already wanted to start one, and I was just making up excuses because I didn't want to fail at it. I was
Yeah.
afraid that if I went out and did the podcast, people wouldn't listen to me, or why would they want to listen to me? So it was just me putting fear in myself and doubt in myself. And when I finally decided to just press record and upload it and release it, that's when I realized, hey, this is something. I got something here. I enjoy doing this.
Oh yeah. And how did you came up with the podcast?
Well, because like I said, I had been wanting to start a
Stuck on
pod.
your mind.
It's
Stuck on your
called
mind.
Stuck in My Mind. It's
Yeah.
called Stuck in My Mind podcast. And the reason I named it is because a lot of people are stuck in their own head. They're stuck in their own
Yeah.
head, and they're always questioning themselves, always doubting themselves. And so I wanted it to reflect something about me, because I was stuck in my own head. I was stuck in my mind, making excuses and telling myself, "Oh man, don't do it. You're gonna fail," and all this other stuff. And when I finally decided to upload and record, man, it just made me feel free, man. It gave me an opportunity,
Yeah.
because when I do my show, I get to be myself. I
Hmm.
don't act like something I'm not. I'm always being myself, genuine, and I have a great time chatting with my guests.
Yeah. And you have booked a lot of interesting people that a lot of folks, most not heard of before because they're regular day people. How are you able to meet? How did you discover those people?
A lot of them I meet through guest connection services. I use Podmatch in particular. Right now, I'm using that's one that I use because it uses AI to. I put up what I want in an ideal guest,
Mm-hmm.
and it links me up with guests that fit what I'm trying to do on my podcast. And
Yeah.
I've been able to sit down with some amazing people. I've been able to speak to some rather interesting people. Like before, when I first started, I was using this guy that linked me and Brian up, and he brought me a couple of
Yeah.
lower celebrities. I actually got to interview Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat, the older brother of Booker T, who they're both WWE Hall of Famers.
Oh
And
wow.
I got to I got to interview Vince Russo, who was a writer for WWE during the Attitude Era. Um,
I'm not a wrestling fan, but that's one of the wrestlers I heard of before. Interesting.
yeah, no, it's been I've really been able to speak to a couple of other celebrities, and then when I really focused on what kind of person I wanted to interview, I wanted to focus more on people who are involved in coaching, entrepreneurship, self development, because that's something I felt that we need. A lot of people need. They need that story to inspire them to. Because everyone has a story. Everyone is going
Oh
through
yeah.
something in life. Everyone has gone through something in life, and no one story is greater than the other. Everyone's story is unique to them. So it might not seem important to someone else, but it's important to them because it's their story. And so
Yes.
me being able to give that platform to people so they could come and share their story and hopefully inspire people, it it's a lot for me. It's for me to be able to do that and help people. It's what
Yeah.
I enjoy that the most is when I get those
Mm-hmm.
messages from people that, hey, I needed to hear this episode. It made an impact. Thank you. I actually had a situation recently. I released episode. I just released 203 today, but a couple of episodes ago I released episode 201, and it
Okay.
was an interview that I did with a friend of mine from Italy. She's Italian, and we had recorded this episode a year ago, and for some reason I don't know, I had forgotten about it, and I was looking through my episodes to see, let me find one that I haven't released, and hers caught my attention. And I'm like, man, I haven't released this episode yet. And it's been a while. We recorded this last year. And I put it in Cast Magic, which helps me come up with it clips out quotes and all different things that I can use on social media and all that. It actually helps with promoting my podcast with the tools that I use from anyway. So I uploaded Cast Magic, and it puts out a beautiful description about the episode with Federica. And I posted and I tagged her, and she sends me a message because she's been struggling lately and she hasn't felt herself. And when she
Yeah.
read all those wonderful things the description of the episode said about her, she had forgotten about the episode. First of all, she had forgotten that we
Yeah.
recorded this episode, and to see those wonderful comments about her and the kind of person she is, and she's like, "Man, thank you." She said, first of all, you picked my perfect picture. I love the picture you picked for the thumbnail. And she goes,
Mm.
but the words in the description that described me, she says, I don't feel like that person right now. And
Wow.
reading these words that you said, that you wrote about me, that you put up on there about me, I needed that. And so
Yeah.
when you get those kind of messages, you just you just appreciate what you're doing even more.
Yeah. It's helping people get better because you don't want to see people suffer whatever they're going through in life, because it's no fun that way. And it's great that they're back to their normal selves, because that's what I kind of wish what everybody is now nowadays, because people they're not the people that they used to be or whatever. It's
No,
unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but at least they're in a good space. That's all I care about.
no. Listen, people change. Everyone you change. You change with life. Life alters you to where you have to change, and sometimes it's for the good. Sometimes it's for the bad.
Yeah.
That's how life is. It's everyone's journey is different,
Oh yes.
and so while you on this journey, it's how you step in. It's how you step in it. Like you can go into this life hating everything around you, or you can go into life appreciating that you're up there today, that you're able to breathe and walk and
Yeah.
just the fact that you're awake to me
Yes.
is it's a blessing, and every day is a new day.
Exactly. And
Every,
same with that, you actually have a family as well. That is more thankful, because
yeah, so I have a
yeah.
beautiful wife, some beautiful kids, and some beautiful grandkids, and so
Oh
I'm blessed to have that in my life. Um,
oh
like
yeah.
anybody, like anyone, I have my days, man. I'm human.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what people feel to realize that we're all human. We all have our moments. There's days that I'm not my best self, but
Hmm.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll get back to it. It's okay. It's those days that you have to say, hey, it's okay. I'm not feeling myself today, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Life is still good.
Exactly. Um. So with the podcast, when you go on that matching app to find people,
Yeah.
have you ever thought like this could be a scary thing, because there are evil people out there on the internet that might trick you into something and all
Well,
of that stuff. Have you ever thought about that?
I'm sure, like I've never really had bad interviews. I've had some interviews that they they sucked, but
Like
um
boring terms.
yeah, well yeah, because I I like for my show to be authentic and flow naturally. So
Yeah.
when people send you like, oh, these are questions I would like for you to ask me, that for me is like, no, this is like, how are you gonna ask me to tell me that these are questions you want me to ask? I want to ask the questions I want to ask. It's my show.
Yeah.
You're coming on my show, and these are questions you feel comfortable asking. Well, these might not be questions that I want to ask.
Yeah.
So I've had situations like that, but for the most part, I've had some wonderful conversations.
That's good. Um, what are you most proud of as for the Stuck in My Mind podcast?
Um, all of it, man. Just the fact that I'm doing it all. I've learned
Mm.
so much doing my podcast. I've grown so much doing my podcast,
Yeah.
and so I appreciate it all, man. I started. I still do a lot of the stuff myself. I'm an independent podcaster. I don't have
Uh,
no big machine like Spotify or any of these other big places. I'm independent. And I enjoy being independent. I set my own schedule. I create the content I want to create,
mhm.
and that's it. I don't worry about all that other stuff. I just focus on what what I wanted from the podcast, what I want the podcast to do, what I want it to represent. And
Oh yeah.
so for me, it's important that I just go out there and have fun and let my guests have fun and enjoy themselves and be able to share their story and share their platforms
Hmm.
and that's the ultimate goal, is to continue to impact people's lives. I'm here to make an
Awesome.
impact, and so
That's awesome. And how did you get started on the Mentality podcast? Which that podcast is actually be starting to be on the David3000 Network as Encore as coach on the gaming to listen to. How did you get started on that?
Well, it was mentality was so me and Cole both started. We took over for Brian Snow, who's Snowman in the morning, when he went to recover, when he went under the knife for cancer.
Yeah.
And we started co-hosting, and the days that I was off from work, I would sit in, and or if I got out of work early, I would sit in and co-host the show. And from day one, me and Cole had this chemistry. It was like instant. Like we had
Mhm.
heard of each other, but we didn't really know each other.
Yeah.
And the more we started working together and doing the show together, we both started to realize, like, man, I would love to do a show with him. But we didn't want to talk about sports, because there's others. Because on
Mhm.
Snowman in the Morning, that's what we do. We talk about sports. Sports is the majority of the topics on Snowman in the Morning.
Like
But
this
me
one,
and
for
Cole,
example. Like this one,
yeah,
for example.
The following is a public service announcement from David3000.
Yankees suck.
This has been a public service announcement from David3000.
yes, like that one. But
Yep.
but so working with Cole, it's been easy. It's we realized that we have a lot in common, and we wanted to focus on men's mental health. We wanted to focus on allowing men a space where they can come and be themselves,
Yeah.
and talk about topics that they have on their mind, or things that they want to discuss, regardless of what it is. It doesn't matter if it's uh um the
Politics or
politics.
just.
Yeah, we talk politics, we talk occasion, we talk sports, we talk about entertainment, we talk about all different things. We talk about personal issues sometimes. It all depends on how it is. Man, Cole is just a genius. He just throws a fastball right down the plate for me to serve it up, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
and I try my best. And
Have you ever had like other interviews on that show, or is just the two of you?
it's just us two. We focus in
Okay.
on it just being us two. I really do a guest on Stuck in My Mind. But we wanted to just focus on just us two doing our show. We're thinking about doing a mentalities men's panel soon.
Oh, okay.
Um, so we'll see how that goes. But for the most part, we just want to work
Yeah.
on building the brand and building the show, because we
You don't
both
want any.
feel,
You don't want any further shenanigans with that. So.
yeah, no, we both feel that this can be something that can really make an impact on men's lives, and can really be of help to men.
Oh yeah. How did you become a sportsman?
Oh man, Phew. I don't think we got enough time, man. It's in my blood, man. I've been playing sports since I was a little kid. My mom encouraged me to play all sports. I'm Puerto Rican, so baseball is in my blood. My dad played baseball. My brothers played baseball. So baseball was the game that
Professionally,
huh?
professionally.
In Puerto Rico, one of my brothers played. But we once they came to the States, they got into a different life, and
Okay.
they
They
didn't
didn't
go
come to
that
the
route.
stage to play professionally.
No,
I get it.
no, they came for a better life, and so I've always had baseball in my blood. I've always loved baseball, and then as I got older, I started playing football, which is my second love, and then of course I watched basketball. I love all sports. And I'm a New York fan, so
Mm-hmm.
I've just had this love for sports, man. 'Cause sports, it's something that you can talk to universally with a lot of people. It's
Oh
something
yeah.
that a lot of people can discuss, and so I just loved sports, just being able to connect with people and build relationships with people off of the love of the same team, or the love of a sport.
100%. And as we're recording this, early today, Aaron Rodgers is not going to be playing for the rest of the year. What are your thoughts on that? I know you told me before the show you're a Chinese fan,
Yes,
but
but I still support the Jets. I'm like I
yeah,
said, I root for New York teams. It sucked. You don't really want to wish anyone injury. You don't really want
oh
anyone
yeah.
to get injured. You want them to
People
have
can laugh about it because of what Aaron Rodgers has done in his career, but then
yeah, but
again,
yeah,
it's like
still
it,
you still
you can't
wouldn't want
wish on
that.
it because
Yeah,
it's disrespectful.
no, it's not positive energy, man. It's
Yeah.
you don't want to wish that on anyone because you wouldn't want it to happen to you. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
horrible that he's torn his Achilles. He's done for the season. I know the Jets had a lot of expectations.
Hmm.
Maybe Zach Wilson can deliver. Who knows? He
He's
almost
young.
hopefully having Aaron Rodgers there to speak to him and coach him, whatever, will help him out. But it it it's gonna be a long season, man. It might they might be, and they got a great defense, man. They got a great defense. So
Oh yeah.
all they need is that offense to be manageable and score points, and the defense will do the rest.
100%. Um. Now, why do you think all of a sudden this year the Yankees could possibly miss the playoffs? I mean, people say they're going to miss the playoffs.
Well, I didn't really I wasn't confident with this team from the beginning of the year. First of all,
Okay.
we didn't really bring a significant. We didn't have enough left-handed bats. We
Okay.
have a
Yeah.
right-handed heavy lineup, and it's horrible. They didn't really improve anywhere. Um, they kept Josh Donaldson at third base for I don't know why. Um,
He's from Milwaukee. Milwaukee
well, we
now.
got rid of him now. He's in Milwaukee, minor league contract. Aaron Hicks, we got rid of him. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to. So we just this roster was not constructed well. It was
There's one left-handed batter in the Yankees lineup today for the Red Sox Yankees game, from what I heard on the radio. They don't have enough, you
yeah,
know.
because we just the Martian is gone for the rest of the season and next season. And he's the switch
Next
hitter.
season. Next
Yeah,
season. Oh
he's
boy.
he's gone for next season too. He tore it looks like he tore his UCL, so he won't be playing baseball next year. So that's sad to see because he's such a young player and he had come up and done so well in his first few games that this is a blow to the Yankees.
Right.
Um, but I'm excited for the other young players that they give an opportunity. So
Yeah.
I think right now we don't have a shot at the playoffs. So let the young guys play and see what they got.
And do you root for the Mets or no? I just want to ask what you think of that.
Except for when they play the Yankees.
Okay.
But it's like a little brother thing. They got a little brother complex. A lot of Mets fans hate the
Yeah.
Yankees. I don't
Oh
hate the
yeah.
Mets. Like I said, I root for the Mets. I root for all the New York teams, except when the Mets play the Yankees or the Jets play the Giants. I root for my team. But other than that, I don't wish the Mets bad. I want them to win.
But
They just spent a lot of
unfortunately,
money. Unfortunately, they're horrible. Yeah, they spent a lot
yeah.
of money and they suck.
Oh yeah. If I was living in New York, I would have done the same. I would root for all New York teams. And the Mets played the Yankees. I didn't care. I would have both of them if I was in New York. But in Boston, I can only root for. Of course, I can follow other teams. Like for football, I could follow, like for example, the Ravens or whatever. But or same with baseball, the Orioles, because the Orioles, who knows, they could win the division if they keep this up. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Orioles are a surprise, man. They've been so bad for so long that they've built up a farm system, and these young players are producing.
Oh yeah,
When you draft correctly and you draft players that want to play and are dedicated to the sport and are talented, sometimes it just pans out and it's their time. They've been down for so long. I'm kind of actually glad it's the Orioles that they're doing
yeah,
well and that they're 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 braced for the postseason and it's good that like Baltimore deserves to win, man. They've been bad for so long.
100%. Um, and, and I and I hope they continue to do well because they deserve it after everything they've been through for the past decade. They haven't been to playoffs in almost 10 years, and I mean it's going to come back to that reality. It's crazy, and the baby birds. Hopefully that can happen. Um, and people like my friend Chase the Kenyo, who was on this Snowman's show Tuesdays or most Tuesdays rather. He thinks you're a twin brother of Cole Johnson. Do you agree?
Oh, me?
Yeah, a twin brother. He like you look like Cole Johnson. That's what he thinks.
I don't know. It's maybe it's the glasses. I don't know, and the
Yeah.
hair. I don't and the hair, but no, we're not twin brothers. He's my brother from another, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Um, do you have any advice for those who want to do their own podcast that make an active podcast format?
Consistency, being consistent. That's
Yeah.
something you really that's really really important. That's something I learned early on that um the more episodes you drop, like everybody think that their first episode they're gonna get 10,000 downloads. It doesn't work like that. You have to
Oh
actually
heck
build your
no.
audience and be consistent. Like a lot of people drop out after 5 or 6 episodes, 7 episodes. That was like to me, that was the that was the cutoff where a lot of people would stop doing podcasting was after
Yeah.
7 episodes. And so when I got past 7, I'm like, all right, I'm past the threshold. And I just now I've like I said, I just released episode 203 this morning,
Yep.
and it's been a blast, man. So being consistent and loving what you do. Find a topic that you love to discuss. Find something that you enjoy. That's something that brings you joy. It you work wonders, man. Being able to be consistent and do what you love.
Oh yeah.
It's something that I would suggest to anybody who's starting a podcast.
Oh yeah. And speaking of podcasting, coming September 30th, there's going to be a podcasting international day. Tell us how that started and what it's going to come to be.
Well, actually, September 30th is International Podcasting Day.
Yes.
And so a friend of mine, Jeff Ravilla, he created his first event last year, and he had me present my show. And me and Jeff, again, we connected through the same person me and Brian connected through. And so I've been able to build a great relationship with Jeff. He's the one who introduced me to Chat GPT. Um, and he has a bunch of wonderful shows that I've been a part of. And so this year, when he told me he was going to do the second annual event, I asked him, "Hey man, if I just asked him, I was like, hey, if you need a co-host, if you need someone to host the event, I'm 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 willing." He's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "All right, you're the host." And he asked another friend of ours, Maria Daniels, who's also a very she's an entrepreneur. She's very smart. She has a great podcast. Um, so we're also good friends. And so when he said it's going to be you and Maria co-hosting, I'm like, great, because me and Maria we have a great relationship. We kind of focus on a lot of the same things, and she's funny and fun. So I'm excited. They're still building up rosters. So if you still want to apply, you still have time, David. You go to that
I
link and
already
find.
did. I already did, by the way.
You're
I think
okay.
I did.
Okay, you
Yeah.
found it. All right, good. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, September 30th. It's the International Podcast Day, hosted by Padui. I forgot how you
And
said it.
it's an event for 12 hours, I believe.
Yes, it's September 30th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm actually co-hosting with Maria Daniels, and I'm also bringing a live episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. And the great thing about the event is any podcaster that comes on and does their show, the content you create on the show, Jeff doesn't keep it. He gives it to you. He sends you the video or whatever it is, and you can use it as you please, because it's your content. He's not trying to steal your content. It's yours. It's your show. So if you want to use it as one of your episodes,
that's why I do here on David3000 Network. Is the reason why I have other people's content here is because I want to bring everybody together as a community to help their channel grows as well. I'm not stealing it. This is collaborating. There's a difference.
Yeah, no. I have Back in my mind YouTube channel, and I have Real Wise TV, which I want to use to help put other people on who just want to come down and record, or they don't really know how to build a show and they just want to come and be a host or whatever. So we're trying to build something on Real Wise TV where we're bringing content daily, and all different types of content. We're looking for sports shows. We're looking for, we're trying to build a network like you. Like I see you have the David3000 Network, and trying to build our YouTube channel, Real Wise TV, to a network, to something where people can come and enjoy some great content.
100%. What other interests that you like in life? If it's like movies, game shows, traveling.
I used to be a heavy gamer, but since I've been podcasting, I really haven't been gaming. But I'm a real big movie buff. I've watched so many movies in my life. My aunts used to run a video store when I was younger, so I used to go watch movies frequently. So I love movies, and I love music. I love all types of music. But yeah, and now I'm to the point where I just like spending time with my grandkids, spending time with the wife, going away. The wife has got me hooked on going on vacations. I've been to Aruba, Jamaica, Barbados, Bahamas. So I'm just enjoying life, David. I'm enjoying life and doing what I want to do with my life.
All right. Well, that's gonna be it for this interview. Coming up next is our next interview. Thank you for doing this, and let's go to the next interview.
Thanks for having me, David. Appreciate it.
All right, and now let's go to the next interview in 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everybody. I'm David here. Welcome to this next part of the interview here, and today I'm here with John Matthews.
Hello, everybody.
So, would you like to tell us everybody about yourself here, John?
Yeah, so as you know, my name is John. Big movie lover, but over the summer, as you'll learn, I took up taking wiffle ball in the summer. I'm a big sports lover, so baseball especially, as well as hockey, but baseball. And yeah, I'm a little bit of a nerd, but I'm also someone that stays active, so enjoys doing that too. So,
what is your favorite baseball and hockey team?
Baseball team, I have two of them. One is the Detroit Tigers. So I live in Michigan.
Okay.
We've been struggling a little bit the last few years, but I have seen green pastures during my lifetime. And my other team is the Milwaukee Brewers. My dad's a big Brewers fan, so I kind of took up after him. So they're having a really good year. So,
and as for hockey,
Detroit Red Wings.
How have they been doing the past couple of years in your view?
The Red Wings have been, for the Detroit Red Wings standards, not very good. I don't remember how long it was. It was about 25 years or so. They had a streak of making the playoffs. 25 consecutive years in a row. But I think they've missed it the last several So, but they are improving. They got some exciting young talent in their system. So they should be good again before too long, hopefully.
Yeah. Other than watching those two sports,
Yeah.
I think you don't watch football or basketball, right? You don't watch those sports, or you do?
I don't watch much basketball, either college or NBA. Football I watch a little bit of, not as much as hockey or baseball, but I will watch college and a little bit of NFL too. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than your sports hobby, what do you do for a living, like as a job or?
Yeah, so this may not sound like the most flattering kind of job, but I work at a dollar store. I stock.
Okay.
I why I'm here at 7 at night is because I got to get
Yeah.
up at 3 in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, I stock at 5 in the morning every weekday pretty much, and
Yeah.
I go for 8.5 hours. So, but I
Oh,
do get out around lunchtime, and I love that part. So,
yeah. At least they have to nurture yourself at least.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah. Any other hobbies like if it's like playing video games, watching game shows, or whatever else?
Yeah, I play a little bit of video games. In fact, I before this recording, I just booted up the new game Starfield for the first time.
Oh yeah, that's been talked about a lot recently.
Yeah, I only played it for about an hour or so. I just kind of went through the introduction tutorial of it. So far, it looks pretty cool. I also played Rocket League this afternoon. I've been playing that for a good
Okay.
while. So, but I have like the three major systems right now: the Switch, the Series S, and
PS5.
the PS5. Yep. So,
And do you like to watch uh, TV like game shows?
yeah, I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but I do enjoy the game shows every once in a while.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend that I do weekly Zoom hangouts with who has autism. He's really into game shows and stuff. So when I'm not watching them, I am playing them over Zoom. He's got them on like a little tablet thing. So I've learned recently that I am really good at Wheel of Fortune. So
Hey, we do a series here on the David3000 Network, a Wheel of Fortune series. So we would
oh,
like
nice.
to have you participate in one of these games as well, despite your
Uh,
road schedule being at night, unfortunately. But we can always arrange it when you're available.
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I've watched Wheel of Fortune, like people play it on television, and I'm not very good at it, but suddenly when I'm playing it on a video game kind of thing, I'm just like
What's your thoughts on Ryan Seacrest? Sorry to interrupt. What's your thoughts on Ryan Seacrest taking over past Sajak suits?
oh, yeah, it feels like Ryan Seacrest is everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this generation's the Clark, as people say.
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he certainly has the hosting experience, so I think he'll be just fine. But
Yeah.
I mean, Pat's shoes are awfully big ones to fill. So
Hmm.
it is that position is in good hands, but it's
Yeah,
tough to fill those for sure.
absolutely. Now tell us how what do you like to do here on social media? Do you create any content, or how do you discover voice here on social media?
Yeah. I have a YouTube channel that I use from time to time, where I just kind of post um, kind of things that like I just come up with an idea for something, and I'll put it on YouTube. For the most part, I only have like one series right now, and I call it John Tries, where I basically like taste test different like Well, it's mostly been drinks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly been like drinks and stuff, and that kind of thing. I also occasionally put up some like clips and stuff from like wiffle ball that I'll be mentioning here. That kind of thing. It doesn't really have like a upload schedule or anything like that. I just kind of post things when I feel like I've got something worth posting. And as for the show, I'm not the best at like keeping up with like podcasts and stuff, but he had invited me on. I did a little research prior to the show and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I would love to be on here. So and tune in a little bit more often from here.
Oh yes. And I'm pretty sure as a football league player, I'm pretty sure you're not part of the Major League Football League.
Oh no, those are definitely out there. But no, it was mainly like a local like social division. So basically, people that just want to play wiffle ball for fun and have some beers or something like that if that's their thing, and just socialize with others. So it's pretty fun.
How did you discover the wiffle ball league you're in? Not the Major League one, of course, but the one you are up now. How did you discover it?
Yeah, so I live in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So the league I discovered and wound up playing in is called the KWL, which is an acronym for the Kalamazoo Wiffle League.
Okay.
I have a good friend who wound up being on my team named Lucas. He had another buddy that was in the league this year. Had like kind of told Lucas that, hey, I'm in this wiffle ball league, and I think he'd find it pretty fun. So Lucas, when we were just kind of exchanging Snapchat messages, he had mentioned that he was going to be playing in the wiffle ball league this summer. I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. I've kind of like wanted to find out like a softball team or something to be a part of, and but I didn't really have a whole lot of connections with people that are on pre-existing teams. So, so I kind of looked into the league's social media and found it was extremely easy to participate in. I basically just had to go on their Instagram, shoot them a message saying like, hey, I would like to play this summer. If you have any open spots on some kind of one of the teams, and before you knew it, I was being a part of spring training, and I was assigned to a team, and the rest was kind of history from there. But I hadn't known about the Kalamazoo Wiffle League, but it has been around for more than 10 years. And it's really cool. We play in a local wiffle ball. We play in like a local, like just like a regular park with a playground and everything like that. But they also have two like wiffle ball fields. So it's not a far drive from me or anything. It's local, and I guess we can get into it more a little bit later. But there's so I'm in the social division. There is also a competitive division, which has people that are taking it a little more seriously. And some of those players from that competitive division actually were on a team, a competitive team of kind of like their all-stars. And they went to from our league, and they went to the nationals and actually wound up winning. So for the first time, that team's been around several years and stuff, but they finally won this summer. So they were playing somewhere out in Pennsylvania, I think. So that was pretty cool. I got to watch that on ESPN too. So it was kind of surreal.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. With football league like that, being on ESPN too, like that, that's crazy.
It was awesome. Yeah. So.
And how far is the league? Like, how far does it travel for able to participate? If it's like the East Coast, the West Coast, and all that stuff.
So are you asking for the league that I'm in right now?
Yeah, like you're in right now.
Yeah.
Does it travel to the East, West. What is it?
So all the teams play at the same field. So it's all like Kalamazoo teams. But we do have people on teams that travel about like an hour or even an hour and a half from either like Grand Rapids or Lansing, just to play, especially the competitive guys. The league has gotten a pretty good reputation, and there's a couple of other bigger ones in the state. Perhaps some people might know of MLW. They're a pretty big YouTube channel. They play out in Brighton. In fact, a couple of the guys from the MLW actually play in our league too. So yeah, like one of the big rookies this year, Grant Miller with the Metro Magic. He had his starts here in the KWL or KLW, excuse me. And he still played here this summer as well. So a lot of guys that are had played in the MLW this year were also in the KWL this summer as well. So they did both.
Have you asked that player for any advice on what his experience has been like for all that good stuff?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Have you asked that player like any advice or just tell him or any questions you asked him about being an MLW player?
I haven't had a whole lot of interaction with players that have played in both or either. However, I did meet Grant Miller once this summer. He's a super cool guy.
All right.
I didn't really get a chance to ask him any advice because he was kind of like in the middle of the game. But I would love to kind of pick his brain a little bit. He's a sensational hitter. He used to play college baseball here in Western Michigan. I think for that university's history, I think he has like the third most hits in their history. So
awesome.
So he didn't really have much of a professional career, so he went to wiffle ball, and he's just absolutely raking here. So.
And have you ever wanted to be participating in MLW?
That would be very fun. I feel like I have a long ways to go in terms of my my abilities and stuff. Some of the players there are like unreal. But I would love to play there for sure. I feel like I gotta improve my game a little bit first.
Yeah. And what is your current stats right now? Like how many home runs have you had? Or play a pitcher or whatever.
Yeah. So to start this year, I had kind of struggled getting acclimated with like facing wiffle ball pitching. It's as you can maybe imagine, it's a plastic ball, so there's a lot of movement to it. The pitches and wind is affected by has an effect on the ball as well. So it's certainly an adjustment. It's not as crazy as blitz ball is, as people are familiar with blitz ball, but it's like wiffle ball, but even crazier. But yeah, it took me a while to get used to it. I had struck out a few times my first few games. and we were also facing like the top 2 teams in our division to start too, so that was tough.
Yeah.
But I think I finished the season. I hit like 298, so for
Okay.
batting average, I was like 1 hit away from ending the season at 300, and that was a big bummer. But
Yeah.
I did walk a little bit more than I struck out. I had a pretty good eye at the plate. I had 1 home run, and it was on last night of our regular season. So that was really exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm still working on getting the power. I know I've got it, but I just gotta get used to like turning around pitches and stuff.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, this is your first season, right?
Yes, it is my
So
first
you
season.
gotta have a lot of practice on the way.
Yeah, it was kind of I had swung a wiffle ball bat previously prior to joining this whole thing, but I hadn't faced like people that throw it the wiffle ball with velocity or they have like breaking pitches. I hadn't seen any of that stuff yet. Stuff like risers and stuff like I hadn't seen that stuff in my life before. So
No.
yeah, it was quite the adjustment. I'm still kind of learning how to pick up on those things when they're coming in.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it's certainly adjustment, but as the season went on, it got a little bit more comfortable. So
All right.
yeah.
And what month do you usually start the season?
So we start the season around early May, mid-May.
Okay.
And we just wrapped up our season last week. We were playing in the championship last week, but our regular season ended on September 3rd this year.
October 3rd. Okay.
Yeah, so early September.
All right. And do you have to do like any practice work before, like, how like in, for example, soccer, they do a practice like before the same week before the actual game on that Saturday. So do you have to do any practice days before the actual game?
I wish our team did. It's just kind of tough with our work schedules and stuff kind of colliding between
Yeah,
us.
I don't blame that honestly because I don't like practice.
But I did like on my days off and stuff the other 6 days of the week because we only played on Thursday nights.
Oh, you only play
Um,
Thursday nights?
yeah,
Okay.
but we played like 2 game series, like double headers against the same team.
All
So we
right.
got enough games in. But um, yeah, I mean during the other 6 days of the week, I would practice throwing. And because I wanted to kind of learn how to pitch a little bit. I wanted to learn how to kind of put various spin on the ball and stuff like that. As you can probably tell by my picture,
Yeah.
I did wind up throwing a little bit during the season. I'm still working on like trying to throw strikes. My biggest kryptonite is the strike zone,
Yeah.
but I have struck a few guys out now, and I'm starting to learn how to throw like a curveball kind of slider kind of thing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And as for the games you play on Thursday nights only, it's actually kind of nice because usually Major League Baseball teams take Thursday or Mondays off,
Yep.
so it makes you guys able to watch baseball because this is this is why I don't really want to be part of an actual sports team. As for if it's at night, I don't want to do that because one, the cold, and two, I don't want to miss any important games that I want to watch. If it's
Mhm.
baseball, hockey, especially the games with hockey, basketball start at 7 p.m. I can join a league if I really wanted to, like during the afternoon. But if it's at night, I don't want to do that because it would just take a lot out of me. So
Yeah.
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, in terms of like the cold and stuff, it was usually pretty hot during most of our nights, but as the season kind of wrapped up there, we would go to when it was near dark. The park doesn't have lights, at least by the field, so we always had to wrap up um, before dark. But yeah, there were nights where it got kind of brisk outside, so I'd have to wear jeans and stuff. So I know what you mean.
Yeah. Is there any way people out there can watch the games if they need to?
Yeah, so there's a YouTube channel for the league itself. They put out occasional clips. They even stream some games. If you go into the live tab of their channel, you can actually catch a couple of my games that I played in. The YouTube channel you can just find by looking up Kalamazoo Wiffle League.
Can you put it in the chat if we may, so I can make a banner of that?
Yeah.
So that way, people who are watching this can make it easier to find it.
Yeah.
Okay. This up here. Not me. No. I don't see it. I don't see it yet. Did you put it in?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. That is the channel right there. If you want to watch his past games, hit me right there. So feel free to check it out. Watch those on Thursday night in the future.
Yeah, I had ours. You will find one of my games has my home run, which I also put on my YouTube channel. But that one you can find. So my team was the Mighty Wombats, which I came up with the team name. It's in reference to one of my childhood video games, Backyard Baseball.
Okay.
But yes, you can find my home run game. If you look for the game currently streamed a month ago, it's the Shanghai Chuckers versus Mighty Wombats.
Yeah.
And there's a thumbnail with a guy in a blue shirt that says "Scared Hitless." So if you want to find that, or you can find my YouTube channel, look that up that way if you so desire to see that.
And as I take a look, that channel has 271 subscribers, which is a pretty good start there. This channel was created over 10 years ago, 2011.
Yeah.
And so before we go, I have 2 questions. So actually 3, but I'll start with this first 2. What does your Detroit Tigers need to work on in the future if they really need to get try to get back on track, because they haven't been in playoffs in at least over 10 years. So how can they get back on track in your view?
So I think one thing that they have going for them is they have a lot of exciting young pitching. Guys like Matt Manning, Tarek Skubal, Casey Mize, who has been out with Tommy John all year. And they got a couple other young arms coming up before too long. Wilmer Flores, brother of Wilmer Flores with the Giants. Ty Madden is another name. Got a couple other guys that are promising pitching prospects, but our problem is these guys don't want to stay healthy. So we need our young guys to live up to their potential, and also not only that, but to stay healthy. Yeah. I think another thing we got to do is somehow, some way, get rid of Javi Baez's contract. He's up big time. He's hitting, I don't know, like 221 or something. His on base percentage, I'm not even sure, but I'm sure it's terrible because he barely walks. Swings and misses at everything. I mean, in his one like offensive skill that you would expect from him is like his power, his home run power, and he has just 8 home runs this season. So, you know, he has a pretty good glove, but I mean, you can find another guy that hits just as well with a pretty good glove too. So it costs a whole lot less. So we gotta somehow either he's gotta live up to that contract, or we gotta move on from it somehow, some way. I don't know who would want him at this point, but and we also need guys like well, I mean, Riley Green is a really exciting young player. Spencer Torkelson is starting to put it together. He's certainly had the home run power lately. And we got a couple other young hitters coming up before too long. Colt Keith and Justice Henry Malloy, something like that. I can't remember his name. It's like 3 names. But we got also Jace Young, Josh Young's brother, is going to be here before terribly long. He's been raking in Double-A, so yeah, we certainly have young talent and stuff, but I think we gotta let some of those young guys, figure it out and move on from Javi Baez somehow, some way. And obviously, Miggy's retiring at the end of the year, so they'll free up a little bit of cap space there too. So.
And also, I just saw they have like a new fall ball league now. I just saw.
Yeah. So people are able to, I think it's 4 weeks where they can play during those 4 weeks for. So my enrollment fee for playing during the summer was $50. It's $20 for the fall. It's 4 weeks of 9-inning nights. There's no double headers, but they're also on they're on Tuesday nights, I believe. I'm not playing this fall. I'm taking up tennis lessons during the fall instead. But yeah, it does seem to be kind of a cool little way to keep the season going for people that are still interested.
Yeah. And now, do you watch hockey often? Like, do you follow closely?
Yeah, I do quite a bit. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on your Red Wings coming into this season?
The Red Wings, I wasn't real. Well, first of all, last season I thought they showed signs of turning a corner in the positive direction. I wasn't real big on their free agent signings over the winter this year. But I did really like they acquired Alex DeBrincat from the Senators, former Blackhawk. I think he is going to be a really nice complement to Dylan Larkin to kind of take some pressure off of him having to do all the scoring. So they really needed another like prolific scorer, and I think DeBrincat certainly can be that guy. So I mean, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs this year, but we're certainly trending in the right direction. Even if some of our free agent acquisitions over the winter were, over the summer, were even if they were a little like underwhelming for me anyway.
Yeah. Because some of my brothers too, like their players are big time players are returning, like our captain Bergeron, he's retired.
Yeah.
So, and with other big time players too. So who knows what's going to happen with the Bruins this season? But I am looking forward to getting back into watch hockey. But with that many wins, it was the trophy curse that got in the mirror in there.
Yeah, that was a big letdown. They looked unstoppable for a good chunk of the season last year, and
it was the trophy curse that got him in the
it's a real thing.
I guess that's what I heard, but same with what happened as we're recording this last night. You know, at the beginning of the game, Aaron Rodgers got hurt, injured, but the thing was, the Bills still lost the game because Charles Allen was on the cover for Madden 24 and Madden curse. So it's like when I saw on Twitter about the Madden curse and it's coming to its full effect, and I was just like, I know now who's going to win the game. So
yeah, it's like it seems like it'd be an honor to be on the Madden cover of Madden, one of the biggest sports franchises, video game franchises, probably the biggest one. But yeah, I mean, you're kind of like it's kind of the kiss of death too.
Yeah. Last question. Do you plan to do any future projects, outside of, if it's for social media or whatever, like for your future goals, whatnot?
I would like to write kind of a short story.
All right.
I have written one short story previously that was kind of a personal one during the COVID kind of outbreak when I was quarantined. That one I was fairly proud of, but I do want to write like a horror short story. I think that would be really fun. I have quite the imagination for that genre, I feel like. And also at some point, if I can find enough people that would be willing to, I'd love to direct a short film, maybe horror for that as well. That'd be kind of cool.
Now I know you don't do any YouTube podcasts or anything like that, but I'll keep it posted, if you want to be part of some sports podcast or whatever, because the room is open depending on the situation. So I'll keep it posted and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
But thanks for doing this, and that'll be it for the interview.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. It was a really good time.
Yes, indeed. All right, that is going to be it here for that interview, and I do want to say that I forgot to mention this. Whoops. Oh man. All right. I forgot to mention this earlier when I talked about Aaron Rodgers injury. I forgot to say that how did I know the Jets were going to win that game at the end, even though it was a crazy turn of events about Aaron Rodgers, injured? Well, how I knew the Jets were going to win that game was because of the Madden curse. Charles Allen was on the cover for Madden, and guess what happened? The Bills saw it. So, that's gonna be it for this episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts. I want to thank everybody who has tuned into this episode, and we'll be right back for another episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts, episode 114, in about 2 weeks from now, which will be September 29th. We are doing this bi-weekly for now, so until at the very least at the end of the MLB postseason. So thank you all for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next episode. See ya. Don't forget to subscribe to the David3000 Network for great more content like this one.